What's going on is Anton from antondaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Just got off the Millionaire Morning Show, as you can see right there. So we're going to take this off and take care of business. And you see what I like to watch. You see Gil's Arena is up there right after that. But I'm about to head over into the apartment. And then at the apartment, I'm going to get my bike because I'm going to be riding around. And it's going to be 70 degrees plus today in Detroit. So it's a perfect opportunity for me to be able to get out and get active and see what's happening in the streets. And what I'm starting to determine and what I'm starting to find out is that I really don't need a lot of the different things that used to satisfy me. I don't need them as much anymore. It's almost like I go through phases. Like, for example, at some time I buy a bunch of cars. And I'm conflicted a little bit, right? Because on one hand, I was looking to get a DeLorean, and then I was also looking to get a Grand National and a Mercury Marauder. And then obviously I got the Lamborghini on order. And then I started looking at all of the cars that I don't even drive that often. Like, I have vehicles that have been sitting that have less than 5,000 miles on them. And I have not driven them in a long time because I haven't needed to do anything personal. And even when I get down here in the city, I am not really driving cars at all, right? I usually take public transportation. I walk, especially now that the weather is getting warmer. I take public transportation and I walk, and I'm just kind of seeing and enjoying things and enjoying the city in ways that I didn't even realize that I could enjoy. And this is a dream of mine, right? Because I've always dreamed of kind of live, work, and playing and all in the same area. And I'm saying this to you because I think that a lot of us within the culture have really, really unrealistic expectations of how we're supposed to be moving and how we're supposed to be operating when it comes to what's in our own best interest, whether that's relationships, whether that's finances, all of that. We are really, really behind the eight ball because we so busy trying to keep up with the Joneses instead of evaluating what is best for us. Now, when I say what is best for us, I'm also saying what is best for us, and not as a culture, but what is best for you as an individual, not being influenced by what other people are doing. So some people are all running down to Atlanta. They all running down to Houston. They all doing the same thing. I remember even as a content creator, one of the things that I kind of rejected, so to speak, from Kevin Samuels was that he was trying to get us all to kind of sort of move into the same area. And the place that he was trying to get us to move to was Atlanta. And it's not like he was trying to make us, but he would just always suggest it. And he would always say, hey, man, this is where it's at or whatever, so on and so forth. And I also understand the networking place. But what I decided to do was, personally, I had to evaluate it. And I don't know what other content creators are doing. But for me personally, what I decided to do was I had to evaluate my own life goals and whether or not it aligned with what it was that I was trying to do. I have a lot of businesses here. I got real estate here. I got a family here. And so with us living in this digital era, I felt like I could be more impactful to my city and to my environment, and also not upending everything that I've ever done. And who knows what it would have been like. I might have not liked it. I don't really care for what's happening in Atlanta. I don't like the traffic. I don't like all of that. And I prefer downtown Detroit. And I know the city, and it's awesome. And I think that this city is actually much, much better and on the come up. And it's much more conducive for people that are looking to grow and doing some great things. And it's much more opportunities here, in my opinion. So I had to take a hard look because I always want to know, and I'm always going to take into consideration what somebody says because it could be beneficial. And so I'm going to take it in consideration. And when I started to take it into consideration, I realized that it wasn't best for me because my lifestyle required me to make a different choice and to move in a different way so that I could have different results. And it's the same thing when it comes to relationships. I think that a lot of people are so used to the talking points and they're not really taking into consideration what's best for them in their circumstance. Listen, you may be a person that's in the church, or you may be a person that's from Alabama. It may not be best for you to go out there in LA and to be out there trying to be in a scene, depending on what your circumstances are. If you want a child, if you want to go into a certain, career field or whatever, Your prototype is much different than this guy's prototype that's a football player that's looking to get with an Instagram model. Everybody don't need to be with an Instagram model. Some of us need to reevaluate where we are in life and what we want. Because what we want sometimes is being given to us by a system or by other people that you following on Instagram that's just part of your algorithm. And so I think that we need to be more realistic with our goals. My goals was crafted by and I learned from different things that I was exposed to, right? I was exposed to a lot of software engineers, and I spent a lot of time with Indians that live in certain communities, like over in Novi, Michigan, and I seen how they built up communities from literally nothing. They'll take a whole vacant piece of land, and everybody is buying a house all in the same area. And so I was inspired by that. And when I got a lot of money, I started buying up a lot of different land, and now I get the opportunity to be able to build houses. And I've learned from different things, right? Everybody is talking about how many doors you have. Well, my thing was I never wanted to have to pay a mortgage, and I felt like I could keep more money in-house to be reinvested if I don't have a mortgage. So I was willing to make the sacrifice earlier and made sure that I paid off the mortgage, and then I snowballed it that way versus trying to expand as many doors as I can possibly get. And then you get into trouble because you got a couple different vacancies, and then you got to raise the rent. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a snowballing effect of negativity when you're not thinking for yourself, or when you're not taking the information and taking it into consideration, chew the meat, spit out the bone, and not trying to follow everything that somebody else's does that's not aligned with your lifestyle, right? For me, it was important to make sure that my daughter has stability. I'm not moving to Atlanta because I am taking into consideration what's best for my daughter. And now that I'm here, and now that we've established and the city is on the up and up and is winning, and property is appreciated so much with so much room to grow, I love the decision that I made. We all want to go and get a $500,000 house, $300,000-$400,000 house. We all want to move out to New York, LA, Miami. Listen, you may not be able to afford that. That's for a different time in your life. And by the time that you get to the point that you can actually afford it, because I can afford to live anywhere I want to, I don't want to anymore, right? A lot of people go to these places and they crash out. A lot of people get with these girls and then they crash out. A lot of people get with these guys and then they crash out. A lot of people are doing things that's not best for them just because they're influenced by the wrong thing. We got to be careful with that, because you're going to find yourself in a negative situation. I'm at the point right now in my life where I'm reevaluating whether I even need a car in the first place. I might even just need one car just in case. I might not even need a car, honestly. Now that my daughter is able to drive and she's older, yeah, I'm gonna need a car because I got to get back and forth out to certain places or whatever. So, but in general, I don't need 5 cars. I have so many cars. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I got two more. I got 6 cars and then 2 more on order. I don't need that shit because my life circumstances and what I desire has changed. So I'm always going to do the thing that's in my best interest, not the thing that's in the interest of the people that I think are interested in seeing me do something in particular. I'm my own person with my own mind, and I think that we need to start having our own mind and being influenced by the right thing. But those are just my thoughts, my Wednesday thoughts. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Tej Hanley, that link should be in the description. If it's not, then I'll get it to you. And then I got the Wednesday night show, and so that's going to be awesome. It's 313 day here in Detroit. The weather is good. I'm about to go and get my bike, get outside, see what's popping, and it's going to be a fun day. I love you. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for continuing to support me and hold me down. And then I'm going to keep y'all updated on my life circumstances. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.